I have travelled the world. I've been to Singapore, Brazil, Luxembourg, and probably everywhere else in Europe. And to be able to drive all of that growth from the Aberdeen office was really quite something that I didn't think was possible when I left university. So what does EY do and what is your role? EY are a professional services firm, which means we offer services across assurance, accountancy, tax, corporate finance, and I'm an equity partner there. I'm the head of audit for Aberdeen, meaning I lead a team of 80 professionals. How has the industry changed in your time at EY? So I'd have two perspectives on this. Firstly, how my own industry has changed, and then secondly, on clients. So taking my own. Technology has transformed the way that we deliver our work, and we're also being asked to give assurance on a broader range of themes. So, for example, now climate and sustainability is a huge feature, whereas when I started, there was much less mention of it. And from a client's perspective, while we are still focused on the energy industry, it's now a much broader range of clients within there. So yes, we have oil and gas clients, but we also have those within the renewables sector. And our client base itself has also expanded, where we've got clients in the food and drink industry, for example, and also life sciences. How does EY keep up to speed with rapid regulatory changes? Well, as you can imagine, we have a huge team of experts that make sure that they keep in touch with all of the things that are happening out there. But how that translates into what I see on a day-to-day basis, we get regular training, there's communications come out, but the most important thing is how we then share that out with our clients. We have regular communications that get sent and also technical update sessions. One of the highlights is an event that we run each year. Last year's event was in the Cowdrey Hall at Aberdeen, and it was a really fantastic venue to be in. What is one misconception about audits you'd love to set straight? So there's quite a popular misconception that audits can be boring and compliance focused, but I'd really like to set it straight that that's not the case at all. A career in audit has been absolutely fascinating. I get an insight into so many businesses at a much greater level than I would have been able to see if I'd only been in a single one. So when I first started, one of the things I found really fascinating was being able to work with my clients to really understand how oil and gas production actually happened. So moving away from this idea that there was, some big pool under the sea that they accessed, and actually getting to understand the technology that was deployed, how that then generated revenue for those businesses. So definitely audits are not boring. How is technology reshaping the future of audit and assurance at EY? Well, I'm probably hesitant to admit that I've actually hit 20 years at EY this month. And during that time, audit and technology has completely transformed. We have gone from having different systems to deliver different parts of the audit to a single global platform that's integrated with our clients, so data can be transferred quickly, securely, and everybody has access to it. EY have invested more than $1 billion in technology over the last few years, and we are really seeing the benefits of that on a day-to-day basis, both from the people that I work with and for our clients. What is the best thing about your job? The best thing about my job is the people I work with. It's why I've stayed with EY over all these years. I have loved being able to work with such a variety of different people. Each day is different. I have seen counselees that I've worked with go from graduates right through to manager and actually even partner. And going out and being part of a team, learning the business, helping them learn their craft has been what's so rewarding for me. What advice would you give a business preparing for its first audit? I think the absolutely crucial thing is to make sure that you engage with your auditor early, both selecting an auditor before your year end, but then making sure that you communicate with them about what it is that you're wanting from an audit. Yes, it can just be quite focused on a compliance piece if that's really what you're driving at, but you'd be missing out on so much of your auditor's benefits if that's all that you're going to look for. So make sure that you engage early, explain to them what you're looking for, and find the right auditor to fit your needs. That audit partner is going to have a huge insight that they can share with you in their business. Not only do they get a great insight into your specific business, but they'll also see others in your industry, and so they can help you benchmark, for example, as to how do you fit, perhaps identify any gaps in your controls or improvements in your processes, things that you can't always see when you're the one on the inside. So picking that partner who you can trust and know they'll deliver for you is really important. What did you want to be when you were a kid? I actually have no idea. I think I asked my mum; she had no idea either. But I think I wanted to be like my dad. So he was a managing director of an oil field services business, but I doubt I really knew that. What I liked about what he did was that we would go in and perhaps visit his office on a weekend, and he had the giant notepad with highlighters that me and my sister could play with. I'm pretty certain he put us in someone else's office, so they got a surprise on Monday morning. What career advice would you give to an 18-year-old Gemma? I would say to go for it and have more confidence in herself. So when I left school, I went to University of Aberdeen and did an accountancy and finance degree, mostly because it was a broad degree that gave me plenty of different options to look at afterwards. So, having landed the graduate role, I joined EY and completed my professional qualification. And I have to say that looking back, I'm amazed at what I was able to achieve from EY in Aberdeen. I have travelled the world. I've been to Singapore, to Brazil, to Luxembourg, and probably everywhere else in Europe. And to be able to drive all of that growth from the Aberdeen office was really quite something that I didn't think was possible when I left university. I progressed from the graduate all the way to partner, joining the partnership in 2018, which was obviously a huge highlight. And so, having made partner, what's crucial for me now is being able to continue that growth and development journey for any of our new graduates or employees that are joining. EY is firmly based in Aberdeen, and being able to build that legacy and that growth for our business is a really important thing for me. What is the best thing about doing business in the Northeast? So, what I've loved about doing business in the Northeast is being able to focus on a single industry, the energy industry. When I look at colleagues in other offices, they often have a much more diverse portfolio, which can have its benefits. But what I personally have really enjoyed is becoming a deep sector expert in the energy industry. I find the industry fascinating. I've loved getting to know those businesses and being able to be curious about what they're doing. They work in harsh environments, dealing with complex problems, and they're always looking for innovation and different ways of doing things. It's exactly what I'd like to be part of. So is it a rowie or a buttery, and how do you take it? Well, I'll be honest. I think in my house, we use the term interchangeably, but I'd probably land on a rowie more often than not. And I would take it toasted so that it just gets a little bit crispy with extra butter on top.